Alright, so we're going to be doing this. You see we have favicon, which is one icon. You click in here, Super Mario. Click in here, it's the turtle. Okay, and all of this is in the same app. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you why it probably does not work for you right now. Well, I'll explain to you what's the best way to do it. Okay, so the reason why it's not working for you is because you have a core file in here, right? And it's probably a favicon, which is like this. Favicon. If you take favicon, you put it into your public folder. All right. And then we put this like favicon like this. It will replace all of your favicons with this file. So it will always default to this favicon. Do you see? Now all of them are exactly the same. So the first thing you need to do to overcome this is you need to not have favicon files, file names, right? So just get rid of them. Just call it, I don't know, anything you want. Now the second problem is if you have in here ICO file, it will always default to it. Alright, so I'll show you another problem. So we go images, and let's say we have let's do Super Mario. No, actually let's do Gomba. Or Gomba, whatever his name is. Gomba is like a mushroom. Right, so if we put mushroom in here, again, it will default to the mushroom on every page. You see? Okay, so to overcome that, you must not have ICO extension in the root. So this is your index.html. So if you put buffer, if you put something like PNG, alright, let's say we'll put PNG, then it's going to work, right? Because what happens is browser always defaults to ICO. Alright, so look. So you see we have, this is PNG extension. This is ICO extension. This is ICO extension. So do you see? Basically, you are prioritizing ICO extension over PNG. So this is why when you have in your index.html, when you have a PNG or whatever other format, you'll be able to override it. Okay? So how do you override it? And to do that, you need to install Helmet. Let me just get rid of this real quick. So you basically need this extension here. React Helmet. This one here. I'll put it in the description below. So you npm install React Helmet. So this is what you do basically. You go to here, npm install React Helmet, like this. I'm assuming you already have created the router. So this is React router, and we have two pages. One is mess around 1, one is mess around 2. One path is mess around 1, mess 2. And then we have a navbar, which is just links to homepage, mess 1, mess 2. I'm assuming you already have this done. So once you have this done, you go to the page, you import helmet, okay, then you put helmet right under the div. Honestly, this helmet I think can go anywhere, but recommendation is to put it right at your first div. So you have your, I don't know, fragment or div, like that, right underneath it. That's where you put it. So what does helmet do? React is a single page application, so in theory every page you visit is always this, and the head tag is always the same. So helmet will replace the head tag with whatever you put in here. So every time you click on a component without helmet, you're gonna get this. But with helmet, every component will have unique head, right? So that's what helmet does. It replaces the head, default head, with whichever you want it to be, if that makes sense. Okay, so then you put title. Let me just do title. So look, so we're now on mess 1. This is our title, mess 1, okay? So we want to change the title. Let's call it mess 1 YouTube. And then there you go. Then mess 1 YouTube, you see? And you want to replace the, whatever you call it, the favicon, right? So you just copy and paste this thing, put it in here, and then you want to go into images, and we want to have Super Mario in there. So we'll put Super Mario, and then there you go. Well, let's put the mushroom guy. Just for fun. So we're gonna replace, so right now I think it's Super Mario, right? Yeah. So let's replace him with mushroom guy. Din 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 din. Yeah. So now there is mushroom guy. And then let's do the same for now. So let's change the title and let's replace this with Super Mario. Whoopsie. So we go to component number 2. Again, we import helmet. We put helmet right at the first div. Title is going to be mess2 test. And then icon, and then this is going to be, we want the Super Mario guy, right? I think. So there you go. Mess2 test, and you have Super Mario. That's it. Done. So there are some rules, right? So I'm gonna write down the rules. Otherwise, so you will see why it's not working sometimes. So let me just write them down. So rule number 1. Rules, let's do like this. Actually, let's just do this. So rule number 1, the index.html must not be .iso. Otherwise, it will make all pages with that favicon, right? So put index.html as PNG, for example. Okay, the second thing is all images must be in a public folder. Otherwise, they do not work. So, for example, let's say we want you see we have images and favicons in here. So this Christmas snowman. If you put this guy here, so you see I have import. So we are on page 2. Oh, we're on page 1. My apologies. You see, we know that this image is working because we can display it. So we know that the path to this image is correct. However, if we put it in here, it's not going to work. So you see this favicon here should be the same as this. But it's not working. It basically defaults to the public folder. Even though the file name is, the file extension is PNG, but in here there is ICO. This is because public folder is prioritized over other folders. So unfortunately you cannot have an image in your source and then get the favicons from there. They have to be in the public folder. But the good news is you can go to public, create image folder, and then just put your favicons into it, and then it's going to work. Alright. So create public-images and get favicons from there. What is the next rule? Preferable for extension .ico. All right. Now PNGs. This is what it will default to. Now, you notice that PNGs also work, but ICO, like that ICO, is bigger than other formats. So you see, if you have in your root ICO and in your components PNG, it will default to ICO, and hence you have a problem. So next one is size should be 32 by 32. But I noticed that 72 by 72 also works. So you can go to icons, like in here, iconicons.com. You can look at all this stuff in here, and then let's say wash your hands. You see ICO, and then I honestly downloaded 72 pixels and 32 pixels, and they worked fine. But try to stick maybe to one of those formats. And that's it. Yeah, another one is why it might not be working is because of cache. Sometimes when you make a change, it doesn't always kick in immediately. So I know you saw on my computer it was like literally kicking in immediately. But sometimes it's a good idea to go incognito like this and then try it. Then you might be able to see that it's working. It's just because sometimes it uses cache as a previous value or whatever. Cache might not allow you to see it. So go incognito or change browser. And that's it. So if you follow these rules, it should work. Take care. Like and subscribe.